Kennedy Dragons, welcome back from Thanksgiving break. We are glad that you're here. Today is Monday, November 29th, the last Monday in November. It is the 72nd day of school. I'm Mr. Butcher. It's my job to keep you guys safe so that you guys can show us how excellent you can be. Hopefully you've left your average at home or on the bus and you are ready to have a respectful and responsible day. Speaking of responsible, our first responsibility each day is to make sure that we're ready to show respect for the rights that we have in this country and at the school. We do this by daily saying the Pledge of Allegiance, doing our school pledge, as well as doing a moment of silence. When we do our pledges, we want to stop what we're doing, stand up tall, put our hand over our hearts like this, say the pledge loudly, clearly, and with pride. We are 72 days into the school year, so you should start to know these and be able to repeat these after us. So as we do these, make sure that you guys are doing it with the best of your ability. So let's please stand for the pledge and remain standing for our Kennedy School Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the Kennedy School Pledge. I pledge myself as a Kennedy Dragon to be ready for the day ahead of me. I will be respectful of myself, my teachers, and all others I meet throughout the day. I promise to be responsible for myself, my actions, and my learning. I'll work my hardest to be the best dragon I can be. Please take a moment to reflect silently on our day, our activities, and what we hope to accomplish. Another responsibility that we have is to try to keep each other safe by slowing down the spread of germs. We can do this by daily and frequently washing our hands. When we wash our hands, we want to make sure that we are getting all parts of our hands. We want to get the palms of our hands, the backs of our hands, in between our fingers, our fingertips, our wrists, and our thumbs. When we wash our hands, we want to make sure that we're using soap and water. That's the best thing. If you can't use soap and water, you can always use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer, but soap and water is always better. You want to make sure that you're doing it for at least 20 seconds. So let's model what that looks like right now. Get yourself some hand sanitizer, and let's get the palms of our hands. 2, 3, 4, 5. Get the back of our hand. 2, 3, 4, 5. Get the back of the other hand. 2, 3, 4, 5. Get in between our fingers. 2, 3, 4, 5. Get our fingertips. 2, 3, 4, 5. Get our other set of fingertips. 2, 3, 4, 5. Get our thumb. 2, 3, 4, 5. Get our other thumb. 2, 3, 4, 5. Get our wrist. 2, 3, 4, 5. And our other wrist. 2, 3, 4, 5. And now our hands should be nice and clean. Now that we've done our pledges, our moment of silence, we have washed our hands, it's time to show respect to those that have birthdays. Now, no student birthdays or no teacher birthdays today, and we did all the student birthdays over the break, but we did not do teacher birthdays over the break. So on the 26th, Miss Peavy had a birthday. Happy birthday, Miss Peavy. It was a special one, 21st birthday. Also, too, on the 27th, Miss Arnold, one of our speech teachers, and Miss Summerhall, our 5th grade EIP teacher, had birthday. So happy birthday to you guys. All right, another responsibility that we have, responsible is doing your job with a smile on your face and giving perfect effort, is to make our lunch choice. Lunch choices today: hot dog, savory baked beans, French fries, and fruit slushy. If you do not want the hot dog, you can always get the PB&J or the yogurt and muffin, but make your lunch choice. One of our goals is to increase our vocabulary, the amount of words that we are exposed to and know and can use, and this is also helping us with our writing. We do this by our picture of the week. Here's this week's picture. It's pretty cool. Today it's Monday, so we're just looking at it. Tomorrow we'll be talking about nouns, persons, places, things, or ideas. Wednesday, we'll be doing verbs, words that show action. On Thursday, it'll be adjectives and adverbs, those describing words, those words that give you a little bit more detail, tell you where, when, to what extent, how many, what kind. And then on Friday, prepositional phrases, those words that show a relationship between two nouns. And always act in a phrase. So here's our picture of the week today. Just looking at it, kind of getting some ideas. Don't have to do anything. I know some people do the nouns today. That's fine. You can. But just right now, just looking at it and seeing what it is. Tomorrow will be nouns. All right, our morning message today is on encouraging others, dreams, and goals. This is a perfect one as we are getting ready to do MAP this week. We all have dreams. Maybe it's a big dream like flying to the moon, or maybe it's more down to earth, like wanting to make the honor roll this grading period. Whatever our dreams are, it's important that we keep people around us who believe in us and want us to reach our goals. Listen to what the great American author Mark Twain has to say about it. Keep away from people who try to tell you that your dreams and goals are not important. Small people always do that. But really great people make you feel that you, too, can become great. Today, let's all act like the truly great people we are. Let's encourage each other to reach their dreams and their goals. With something to think about on Mr. Butcher, make today your masterpiece or not. Remember, the choice is yours. And that is so true. We're getting ready to take our MAP assessment this week. And you know what? In the end, in the whole scheme of things, how well you do on the MAP, that doesn't tell you what kind of person you are or what kind of human you're going to become. But it is something that will kind of show that you've gotten a little bit better each day. And that's the truth. That's the whole thing about it. We want us to get better each day, whether it's becoming a movie star or a football player or a soccer player or the president of the United States. You've got to get a little bit better each day. And the MAP, like I said, you know what? The MAP tells us some information about what you've learned. It doesn't tell us how good of a kid you are or what kind of person you're going to be, but it does give us a little bit of thing. And we want you to get better each day, so that's why it's important. So make sure that you're got that goal set in yourself and hang around those people that are going to encourage you to get better each and every day. All right, so the mask mandate is not in place now, so you don't have to wear your mask except for when you get on the bus or if you've been exposed to someone who has had COVID and you're at school and you have to wear your mask. So, or some people are just choosing to wear a mask to try to help slow down the spread. So if you're wearing your mask, or before you have to put your mask on to get on the bus, let's make sure we're showing how to wear it the right way, putting it on over our nose and our mouth. Make sure it's tight around your ear so it doesn't hang down. You guys have a great day. That is all we have for announcements, so please help me.
Me and your teachers keep you safe. That is our job.
And your job is to help us keep you safe.
And you can help us by being a ready, respectful, and responsible student who is focused on graduating in the year.
Because when you are a ready, respectful, and responsible student focused on graduation, you are fully committed to student success. I love you very much. Have a great Yesterday was the first night of Hanukkah, or last night was the first night of Hanukkah. So our book today is The Story of Hanukkah. The author is David Adler. The author is the person that wrote the words. And the illustrator, the person who drew the picture, is Jill Weaver. So we're going to read through this. So as we read, remember we're trying to increase our vocabulary. The words we know and can use in context. We also want to model what good readers do, which is to read fluently, which means reads the word correctly at a good pace, not too fast, not too slow, and with expression. And also, too, to give you the opportunity to model what good listeners do as they're reading, is to listen for, this is a nonfiction book because it's telling us the story of Hanukkah. So you want to listen for the main ideas and the details. So here we go. The story of Hanukkah. The Hanukkah story begins in Israel a long time ago when it was called Judea. At that time, the Jews who lived there were farmers and shepherds. On holidays, they all went to the beautiful temple in Jerusalem. The temple was on top of a mountain and called the house of God. Its gates were covered with gold and silver. Inside was a ner tamid, a light that always burned. For a long time, the Jews lived in peace, although they did not rule their land. Then a Greek, Antiochus IV, became king. He tore down the walls of Jerusalem. Thousands were killed. Anyone who lit the Sabbath candles, studied Jewish law, or refused to bow to Greek idols were put to death. The king's men came to the town of Modian. They demanded that Matthias, an old priest, worshipped one of their gods. Matthias refused. He threw down the idol and called out, "Whoever is for the Lord our God, follow me." Matthias ran to the hills. His 5 sons and many other Jews followed him. Antioch's army chased after Matthias, but when the soldiers came near, brave Jews hiding behind the large rocks and inside caves attacked. Then they ran back to the hills and hid. Matthias and his followers were farmers and shepherds, but they fought like trained soldiers. When Matthias died, his son Judah became their leader. Judah was called the Maccabee, which means the hammer. The people who fought with him were called Maccabees. The king's armies came with bows, arrows, swords, horses, and armored elephants, but they weren't able to beat the Maccabees. In the final battle, there were more than 6 armed soldiers to each Maccabee, but still the mighty army of Antiochus was beaten. Judah then led the Maccabees to Jerusalem. The Maccabees cried when they saw the temple ruined and filled with garbage. They cleaned it. They built a new altar, new gates, and new doors. When it came to time to light the Ner Tamid, they found just one small jar of pure oil, only enough to burn for 1 day. But that oil burned for 8 days, until more oil could be prepared. On the 25th day of the Hebrew month of Kislev, the temple again became the house of God. Judah declared that every year on that date, an 8-day holiday would begin. The holiday was called Hanukkah, which means dedication. It celebrates the day the temple was rededicated. That was more than 2,000 years ago. Today, all over the world, Jews celebrate Hanukkah by lighting candles, singing Hanukkah songs, and eating latkes, potato pancakes, and sufganiyat. I don't know if I said that right. Sufganiyat, jelly donuts. Latkes and sufganiyat are prepared in oil and remind the Jews of the Hanukkah miracles. In many homes, people exchange Hanukkah gifts. Children also play a game with a 4-sided spinning top called a dreidel. On each side of the dreidel is a different Hebrew letter. The first letters of the Hebrew sentence, Nes Gadal Haya Shalom, which means a great miracle happened there. It happened in Jerusalem. Hanukkah celebrates one of the first fights for religious freedom. And that was the story of Hanukkah.